The moment you step onto the streets of Hanoi, it's like jumping into a river of life. Motorbikes zip by, carrying families, flowers, and goods piled high. The air is thick with the smell of cooking garlic, tasty pho, and fresh herbs. Every corner is a new adventure for your senses. The people here are so friendly. Sellers arranging colorful fruits, families laughing over meals on tiny stools. Food is like the glue that holds everything together, a language that connects strangers. Vietnamese food is a masterpiece of balance. Sweet, sour, salty, spicy, and bitter all work together. Each dish tells a story of strength and creativity, shaped by hundreds of years of tradition. But to truly understand Vietnam, you have to look beyond yummy food and explore every tradition, even those that are hard to understand. One of those is eating dog meat, known as vit cho, a topic that needs respect and an open mind. Eating dog meat in Vietnam has a long history, starting from tough times and not enough food. During wars and hunger, surviving meant using everything you had. Animals like pigs and cows were too valuable to eat. Dogs were more common and had many uses. In the countryside, dogs were guards, friends, and, when needed, a source of protein. This was a practical choice, not a mean one. Survival left little room for feelings. Over many years, eating dog meat became a tradition, linked to beliefs about good luck and keeping bad luck away. In the north, it's seen as a warming food, often eaten at the end of the lunar month. These customs make the practice more than just about food. Today, seeing dog meat for sale is a look into a complicated past, not just a food choice. Understanding this background is the first step toward a respectful talk. Entering a Thit Cho market is an experience that hits all your senses at once. The familiar market smells of fresh herbs and produce blend with something heavier, smoky, and unmistakably different. The air feels thick, and there's a sense of anticipation as you step inside, knowing you're about to witness something unique to this culture. The sounds shift too. The rhythmic thud of a heavy knife echoes through the stalls. It's a sound you'd expect in any butcher's shop, but here, it carries a weight that's both familiar and strangely unsettling. Roasted dogs are displayed openly, whole and golden brown, their skin crisped by fire. There's no attempt to hide what's being sold. It's all out in the open, a testament to the local customs and culinary traditions. The sellers, most often women, move with practiced speed and skill, slicing and portioning meat with the same efficiency you'd see at any other meat stall. For them, this is simply another day's work, a routine part of life. Customers, mostly older men, browse the selection, pointing out their preferred cuts, chatting with the vendors, and leaving with their parcels. There's no secrecy or shame, just the normal flow of daily life, as ordinary as buying vegetables or fish. For these men, vit cho is more than just food. It's a meal to be shared with friends, often accompanied by rice wine, laughter, and stories. It's a tradition that brings people together, especially at the end of the lunar month. What's most striking is how normal it all feels here, even though it's so different from what many outsiders might expect or accept. The market is alive with the same energy and routine as any other. Standing among the locals, I felt a mix of sadness, confusion, and curiosity. I was aware of my role as a guest, an outsider trying to understand a world that isn't mine. It's tempting to look away from things that challenge your beliefs, but real connection means facing both the beautiful and the difficult parts of a culture. You have to stand in that discomfort, listen closely, and be willing to learn, even when it's hard. This experience is a powerful reminder that food traditions are deeply personal, shaped by history, family, and place. They're never simple. Judging from a distance closes doors, but approaching with curiosity and respect opens them wide. To truly understand, you have to be willing to see it all, to accept the complexity, and to keep your mind and heart open. To truly understand, you have to listen to those who keep the tradition alive, who have lived through decades of change, and still gather to honor old customs. I sat with older men in a Hanoi restaurant, sharing that cho and rice wine, surrounded by laughter and the clinking of glasses. For them, This meal is a taste of their youth, a special time to get together with friends, to remember old stories and celebrate bonds that have lasted a lifetime. Eating dog meat is about friendship, not family dinners. It's a custom that makes bonds stronger, a ritual that marks important moments and brings a sense of belonging. They make a clear difference. Some dogs are pets, others are raised for meat, and this distinction is deeply rooted in their upbringing and community. "We'd never eat our own dogs," one said, his voice steady, as if repeating a lesson learned long ago. "The ones raised for meat are different. The line is clear to them, even if it seems blurred to outsiders. This difference is very important. A mental and cultural separation outsiders often find hard to see. But for these men, it is second nature. They're not being mean, but following tradition and being practical, shaped by years of scarcity and survival. Yet, they see the world changing, and they watch as new values take root in the next generation. Their children say no to the practice, calling it cruel, and sometimes even refusing to join these meals. "Maybe this tradition will die with my generation," one man thought, not with shame, but acceptance, understanding that change is inevitable. Their words aren't defensive, just honest, shaped by a lifetime of different experiences and a deep respect for the past. For them, Vit Cho is a part of history, not just a meal, a symbol of resilience and community. Listening to their stories shows the complexity behind every bite, and reminds us that tradition is never simple. It is layered with memory, meaning, and change. The conversation changes with Vietnam's younger generation, especially in big cities. I met Lynn, a young designer, holding her poodle. For her, dogs are family, not food. Seeing global culture and growing up with pets has changed how people think. The old line between meat dog and pet dog no longer exists for many young people. Animal welfare groups, led by passionate activists, are raising awareness and rescuing dogs. Social media campaigns show the cruelty and theft involved in the dog meat trade. This difference between generations is causing a cultural shift. Young people are speaking out, not just avoiding it. "It's embarrassing for our country," Lynn said. "This tradition belongs in the past." The future of Vietnam's relationship with dogs is changing, led by kindness and activism. Respect for elders remains, but this is one tradition many are ready to leave behind. The movement is growing, and it's changing hearts and minds. Change is happening, not just in hearts, but in rules. Across Vietnam, a quiet but determined transformation is underway, touching both policy and daily life. Big cities like Hanoi are telling people to stop eating dog meat, saying it has health risks and doesn't fit a modern image. Authorities are putting up health warnings and encouraging a shift in public habits, hoping to align the city with global standards. Local governments are helping sellers switch to new businesses, aiming for a slow end to the practice. Support programs and training are being offered, so that those who once relied on this trade can find new ways to earn a living. For many, selling Vit Cho is a family business, so change must be careful and lasting. Generations have depended on this trade, and any shift must respect their livelihoods and traditions, while guiding them toward a new future. Public opinion is shifting. Most young people and city dwellers now support a ban. Social media campaigns and youth-led discussions are making a real impact, spreading awareness and changing minds. More people becoming middle class means more people treat dogs as pets, making emotional bonds stronger. Dogs are increasingly seen as companions, not food, and this new perspective is reshaping family life in cities. The market for dog meat is getting smaller. Restaurants report fewer customers, mostly older men. Younger generations are turning away, and the once busy eateries now struggle to stay open. Some have closed or changed their menus, showing the economic and cultural shift. New dishes and modern cuisine are taking their place, reflecting a society in transition. The tradition stays in rural areas, but things are changing. Even in the countryside, younger people are questioning old customs and looking for alternatives. Vietnam is in a period of change, and the decline of the dog meat trade is a clear sign of it. The country is balancing its rich heritage with the demands of a modern, globalized world. The future is being shaped by new values and new voices. As the next generation steps forward, They are redefining what it means to be Vietnamese in the 21st century. For tourists, seeing the dog meat tradition can be very upsetting. Most come for the food and culture, not expecting to face something so forbidden at home. The shock is real. Sadness, confusion, even anger are common feelings. But showing anger rarely helps people understand. It often creates barriers. The traveler's challenge is to balance personal beliefs with respect for local culture. Empathy and context are key. Understanding doesn't mean agreeing. The men eating that show aren't bad guys. They are products of a different time and situation. As a visitor, you see a country in the middle of a cultural shift, old traditions meeting new ideas. Travel isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it's about being challenged and changed. The lesson real connection comes from listening, not judging. I heard a story that showed how complex this issue is. An elderly man, facing poverty and a sick daughter, sold his beloved dog for medicine. The loss broke him, but he had no other choice. This isn't just about tradition or progress, it's about love, sacrifice, and impossible decisions. The emotional cost is real. Pet owners fear theft, sellers face growing disapproval, and some are caught in heartbreaking problems. The dog meat trade is tangled in money, culture, and deep personal feelings. It's not a simple issue with a simple answer. The story reminds us, behind every tradition are real people, facing real struggles. Kindness must extend to both animals and humans. The weight of these choices is carried by the whole society. Understanding means seeing the pain, not just the practice. It's a burden that shapes lives and stays long after the meal is over. As I leave Vietnam, my heart is full of flavors, sights, warmth, and questions. This journey made me look beyond my own view and listen deeply. Understanding doesn't mean having all the answers. Sometimes it means asking better questions. I listened to the old man, the young woman, and the silent pain of impossible choices. Vietnam is like a colorful blanket of stories: tradition, change, love, and loss. As travelers, our job isn't to judge, but to learn and connect with kindness. The world is complicated and beautiful. The best we can do is explore it with open minds and hearts. What we take home is not just memories, but a deeper understanding of people.